Well, morning, fellow zombies. Are we frozen yet? I know some of you back east and southeast are feeling that way. Yeah. West Coast time, 4:15 in the morning, January 20th, 2025. So, I ain't gonna say about the damn elephant in there. I will say about three hostages have already been released. Stage one, and I wait for stage two to happen. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of adaptations, and a lot of PTSD from incidents. I feel for them. I feel for the hostages. They've just been released. Three ladies. And they're going to have a lot to get through. They're going to have a lot to get through. One second, guys. Still trying to get some computer work and waiting for my coffee pot to perk. Guess I called. Gotta have my coffee. So last night, Trump was going out with his inaugural party and having fun. And while the independents and Democrats and God knows who else just going after each other left and right. So this morning, I woke up uh, half hour ago, or maybe more than that. I already had a few hours of sleep. She must be sleeping right now. And I had to listen to one particular independent doing a conversation with another, trying to see something that, if I could, identify it. And I was just coming across the stigma, the stereotyping. Lack of knowledge, lack of history, lack of interest in it. History gets so screwed up with them that they don't dare see it or don't bother to see it. But what I see was the stigma and people misunderstanding a few concepts. One gentleman in our Trump rally couldn't decipher between communism and socialism, but he did like Putinism, authoritative. I kept trying to think, have we gotten that low in our understanding about our own country and about our own ideas and ideologies that we're going to emulate dictators and everything else? But hearing what everyone else keeps saying about the dictators at this point almost sounds like it's a benevolent picnic, or worse, hellscape. That's what I've been hearing on both sides at this point. What I understand about the Soviet Union when it collapsed, before it collapsed even, and after it collapsed, entire mess. Communist Party is still, well, it hadn't collapsed because people have already accepted it. They tried to say something about freedom, but apparently it's not. Capitalism is strong with the Chinese Communist Party. They're willing to buy everything else, thinking that capitalism is only for the communists. I don't suppose the American people thought about that one, did they? No, but they looked at Putin and thought, that's not communism. Yeah, it is still, just disguised. I had an argument with my professor, political science professor, several years ago when I was getting my feet wet again in college system. And we argued about Putin for a short time. I wish we argued it a longer time than that. Putin has used methods, strong arming and strong typing, to keep his office each time, eliminating the competition by eliminating their life. removing it, and therefore being the only sole candidate so he can keep his autocracy going on. I guess people didn't bother to read about that one or understand it or care to. He's an aging leader. I haven't heard anybody else coming from the pipeline that's going to be taking over him. He is that ego driven that doesn't matter who his successors are. He's going to get rid of them because he's going to keep what he wants, power, and he's going to keep living as best as he can. If he could have transferred himself into an AI body, or actually into an artificial body of any sort, keep his brain going, I wonder how deteriorated his brain would be. Or any kind of science fiction method to keep his ass going, he probably would take it. His ego is that strong. And Trump follows it. Xi Jinping, well, they've got leaders popping up. The Communist Party lives forever. But eventually, the autocracy is going to be collapsing upon itself. History keeps showing us that you keep putting in people of that kind of force, there's going to be another force to take it down eventually. It takes time. It's not usually in one person's lifetime, but if it is, I'll be seeing it. But if not, then I got to start living in the autocracy level then. And how this is going to affect everybody, only time will tell. A few hours from this time zone, right now it's 4:32 in the morning West Coast time. It's 7:32 in the morning over there. The sun's already up, cold as hell, and they want to have swearing and service indoors. Not outdoors where people could be gathering to worship the Trump. No, it's going to be done in Congress. It's going to be done in the rotunda. Because it's too damn cold for people. No, I think it was just a security concern. That's all. Am I supposed to hate this guy? I already seen him in action, and I already seen what he's capable of. Do I hate him? I don't have any love for the guy, that's for damn sure. But do I understand what he's going to be doing? Well, he thinks he's going to be, you know, he thinks he's going to be, I don't know what he thinks he's going to be. Egomaniac running the world? And you got the billionaires trying to do that with their own money and capitalism. How much money can a person be bought off? How much ego is going to be sacrificed for money? And all those alliances breaking down left and right. And I'm seeing it happen in my lifetime. I'm hearing the reports from the independents. Of course, one network's not going to be covering it as much as the others. But it's going to happen. We're going to see alliances breaking down left and right to where it's I don't know. I am going to see how shaky our Constitution is going to be at this point. People put their absolute faith in it, and so did I. Some people say it's just a piece of paper. It's not just a piece of paper. Ideology. It's the spirit that we all grew up under. And if it's going to break down, it's going to break down, and it's going to freak people out left and right. Well, we're going to be showing ourselves just how strong democracy is supposed to be. But it's only as strong as the people believe in it, have faith in it. And if they don't, well, I guess we're really going to see it. We're going to see it in action. We're going to see if it matters. And if it doesn't matter to anybody, then I guess it doesn't matter much in our generation or the previous generation or even a generation after that, because people are going to be following the example. I'm putting this on record. I'm going to post it out there. I'm going to see how bad this is going to be. There's going to be a lot of people trying to put their, well, I think. Well, be my guest. I did mine last night. I dealt with my own little reality of dealing with a dog that's having conniption fits, and it's still cold as hell outside. So now, so now, I wait with dreaded anticipation and trepidation of a gas bag going to be accepting the nomination, and then waiting for the first commands out of his mouth. It's said that the old gas bag's got 100 executive orders ready to go out the instant he swears in. They take effect. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if the armies, we'll see if the militants, we'll see the ones carrying the badge shields, authoritative clothing and wear, are going to be coming up and telling me that I can't be this way and I can't be that way. So we're in for it this morning. I don't know what we're going to do. Tell you the truth. We already got too many changes happening in different areas of our country. Apparently we got other people who've got different plans for the landscape of Southern California got torched. Plans that other people didn't have plans on, except for rebuilding to what was. No, we got other people trying to buy a property right now and saying that this is going to be ours and you're not having it. And we're going to see what happens on that point. In different states where there have been disasters, is any other property is going to be bought up, and we're going to be increasing homeless at this point? Are we? Because that's going to be something that I don't know how we're going to be able to deal with that one. Are we going to have an increased amount of homelessness? And isn't homeless considered illegal? Because the Supreme Court had declared it as such? One state couldn't control or couldn't deal with its own homeless situation, so the whole nation has to suffer, declaring homelessness being illegal as hell. I can't deal with it. We have gotten so callous, we have fallen so much. I just don't know how we're going to be able to get past it and deal with it. Meanwhile, we're going to have other people out there trying to take full advantage of anybody and everybody. It was screamed a long time for past, I don't know how many decades, that we're living in a lawless society. It's a lawless society if we don't follow the rules, regulations, and laws already put out already that we agreed to. That's the words. Agreed to. Well, we consent to be governed. I don't know if we're going to run into this situation on a constant basis now. We haven't put ourselves in this situation Not that I recall, not that I've read, not that I've heard, not that I've studied. Our country has not been put into this kind of headlock situation here before, at least not this extreme. We had it back in the 50s when we had a senator hell bent on trying to rule his world the way he wanted it until he went against the United States Corps of Engineers and then really got himself screwed over. Died in disgrace. Yeah. Now we're going to be having that again, aren't we? On American committees, we have to prove that we are so ultra patriotic we're going to be fascist. Italy did the same shit, didn't they? Back in the 30s and 40s, had to make sure that they were also ultra patriotic. Guy named Mussolini, ring a bell? That's the thing. We try to teach the basic blocks of history, not the reasons why, not the motivations. We can teach the biographical, but we can't teach the substantive. It had to be stories from earlier on, witness statements that would have to give us the clue. But is that statement accurate enough for people to say, oh wow? It's like, who cares? Well, it's that kind of attitude. The second attitude is going to be the one that's going to bury us alive. I said before, history, history, history. Well, nobody gives a shit about history, apparently. So we're going to see history bite us in the ass again. And it's going to take decades on this one. And then when we finally realize what the hell's going on, will it be too late? Will the Constitution actually be burned up as a piece of paper, or is it actually going to be redrafted, reformulated, certified, and become active again? But whose Constitution, I wonder? I'm just waking up this morning having these deep thoughts. The thing is, when I start having nightmares about the shit, then I know the shit's about to hit the fan. Or my fan's about to die anyway. Both are going to happen. And I got to deal with what is and what isn't.